Hello, High Performance Academy. It's Dr. Erin again, your high performance business coach, and I'm very, very excited to talk to you about a topic that, to be quite honest, is capable of either making us or breaking us. And that is this idea of, are you able to claim your expert status on that service, product, skill set that you are delivering to the world? And here's what we're going to cover today. We're going to talk about what is an expert, and I'm going to give you the definition from the experts industry on what an expert is. And I'm really, really hopeful that you will see in those definitions where you can claim that as your truth, and that it truly you are an expert in your area. We're going to talk about how experts get paid and how they don't get paid. And we're going to talk about how to increase your credibility. And it might not be what you think it's going to be. So let's dive in, because again, this concept will either propel you forward or keep you held back. So I know when I started my coaching business 2 years ago, I sat down with a couple friends and I said, so I've never been a coach. I just claim it. I just say I'm a coach and that's it. Like, I didn't feel like I was a coach. I felt like I must need to go to some school or something and learn how to be a coach. And what my friends helped me realize was it was just a different name for something that I had already become an expert in, which was being a psychologist for 15 years. And really what I had to realize was that I was just shifting my area of expertise to a different population. And we're going to talk about that today and how that's so pivotal when you're looking at what are you actually an expert in. And I want you to realize you're actually an expert in the change that you can provide for people, not necessarily the content of what that person is interested in. And I'll give you some examples of that in a little bit. But I realized as a psychologist, I had the ability to help people change lives, which was the same job description as a coach. Okay, so let's dive in. What is an expert? So an expert is several things. One, an expert is someone that you trust. Okay, they've earned your level of trust, usually by they are an influencer, they're a connector, and they're knowledgeable about a thing. They're knowledgeable about a skill set or a content area. They're very, very knowledgeable, okay? An expert also defines and helps us understand what we should pay attention to. So when I hired a sales coach, my sales coach helped me understand, oh, you're going to listen for that in a sales conversation, or you're going to listen, you're going to listen for what your clients say is the biggest reason they're coming to you as a coach. That's going to become your marketing gold. So an expert is someone you trust. It's someone who defines what to pay attention to. An expert tells us what things really mean. And so an expert gives us what I like to call a perspective that we think matters or that we are willing to pay for, okay? Experts also tell us how things work. Experts tell us how to advance. And experts tell us how things might work out if we do a certain thing or don't do a certain thing. Okay, so what I see all too often is people having these very narrow definitions of what an expert is, and really keeping it in the realm of getting an advanced degree in college, or there are letters behind their name. And that's not what being an expert is about at all. Those things can be one way to claim expert status, but it's not the only way. So an expert also, and lastly, is someone that has information and they get paid for having that information. They get paid for having insight or being able to offer guidance to people. Okay, so let's back this up and talk about how do you increase your credibility as an expert. And I hope you all realize that you already now are an expert in something, okay? So credibility is actually not about our past at all. So when I was starting coaching and I was giving you that example, I was thinking, but I've never coached before, so I don't have any credibility. No, your credibility isn't about your past. Your credibility is about the value you can add to other people, and it's about the transformation you can provide for other people. Isn't that exciting? So you are already and can claim your credibility if you know how to help people advance, to help them understand how things work, to help them understand what might get in their way, to help them understand what to pay attention to help them go faster, right? So here's the two job descriptions of an expert. Experts inspire and they teach. They inspire and they teach. Now, both are very, very important and part of the whole job description of being an expert, but one gets you paid and one doesn't. Okay, so but you need both. The first part of the job description is inspiring people. And if you can't help people, you're not going to make it in this business of being an expert. But here's what we do when we inspire people. We grow our tribe of raving fans. We grow our influence. We grow our community, and we're adding value to people. We're teaching, we're inspiring them. We're showing them like what's possible. Maybe it's from our own transformation. Maybe it's from the transformation that we share about the clients who work with us. But we're showing what's possible. And this is kind of like dating people, okay? So we're constantly dripping value. We're constantly leaving impressions upon people and adding value, okay? That's super, super important in the experts industry. That stuff doesn't necessarily get you paid. Very few people actually get paid for inspiring people, but there are some. But the other part of the job description, so we have to have the first, but the second part is instructing. And here's the thing. The better you can teach, the more you'll get paid. That's simply how it works. Now, again, I don't mean teaching necessarily you're in a university or you're up at a whiteboard teaching something. Teaching is, again, showing people how to change their life, showing people what's important in the marketplace. So a real estate agent absolutely can inspire and be a teacher. A real estate agent can absolutely instruct their customer on things that they need to learn, on how to go faster, again, what to pay attention to, what things mean, how things work, how to advance, how things might turn out, right? They have a unique knowledge and skill that someone else is going to pay for, okay? So again, the two job descriptions for an expert: inspire, and that's where you'll get followers, you'll get likes, you'll get loves, you'll get comments, you'll get followers on your YouTube, on your Instagram, and that's super important. And that you do that by adding lots and lots and lots and lots of value over time to people and sharing what you know. And then the second is to instruct. Now, here's what's so exciting about the experts industry. We are sitting in a time and space in our digital world where being an expert is such a good thing to be. Get this, 40% of the global population will be joining high-speed internet in the next 2 years. 40% of the world population will have high-speed internet in the next 2 years, which is about double what currently exists. So here's what's such an amazing opportunity about being an expert in these times. You have the ability to teach on any topic you desire to anyone you want at any time you want when you decide to do that. And you have the opportunity to create a very lucrative career doing so. I mean, it's an opportunity that's never been there like it is for us, right? And so I just want to inspire you that it's okay right now if nobody knows who you are. It's okay. My friends and I were at a Brendon Burchard conference, a 5-day conference called Experts Academy, where he teaches experts how to grow an expert empire. And he had polled the audience of 1,500 people and had asked, who here had not heard of me 2 years ago? 65% of the people in that room had not heard of Brendon Burchard 2 years ago. And he's been at this for 22 years, and he's a multi-millionaire. Okay, so it's okay if people don't know you right now. That's okay. And it's okay if you need to start small. So Brendon Burchard says, don't let your small business make you small-minded. Isn't that great? There's like a street sweeper coming through by my window. So we're just gonna, that's okay. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Okay. So here's the thing, as experts, we're gonna move from the land of hobby into the land of business, okay? You have the ability to change people's lives. When people ask you, what do you do? We've really got to nail this, okay? This is kind of your expert positioning statement. And the rest of your career, people are going to say, well, what do you do? And you really want to have this statement positioned so that people are very, very clear of the problem that you solve for people and the transformation you provide for people, okay? So this is a simple strategy, a simple structure for that. We call it the 1, 2, 3. What do you do statement? 1, what do you do? You're going to say, I help, and you're going to fill in the blank. Now that could be people. You might not need to niche down. It might be business owners. I help business owners. I help online marketers. I help stay-at-home moms, whoever you help. I help people who are looking for their dream house. The second step is, what do you help them be, do, or have? What do you help them be, do, or have? So I might say, I help entrepreneurs create a profitable business. So there's my first is I help entrepreneurs. So who do you help? And the second, what do you help them be, do, or have? So I help them create profitable businesses. And the third step is so that. And this is where you're talking about the benefit that you provide to these people. So I help entrepreneurs create a profitable business so that they can make an impact doing what they love. Or so that, this is your benefit, so they can make more money with less stress, overwhelm, and fatigue. So I could say it this way, I help entrepreneurs learn how to apply the psychology of high performance to their business so that they can create a profit while not being overwhelmed, burned out, and stressed. Okay? So 1, 2, 3. I help, be, do, or have so that they can achieve this benefit. So I would love to hear your 1, 2, 3 statements of what you do and really help you feel good about that expert positioning statement. It's going to be so important for you. Okay, this is your expert story. So you want to really think about how to craft your own story that sets you up to be an expert. And this is your 1, 2, 3 recipe for your expert story. The first part of your story is your struggle. What were you struggling with? Or what do your clients struggle with the most? So you're going to start with your struggle. The second part is you went searching for a solution. How did you do that? Where did you go search? And third, what did you find that would help you transform? How did you transform? What was your transformation? What was your client's transformations? So I might say, oh my gosh, 2 years ago, I wanted to start a business and I had no idea how to do it. And I was really bad at sales. And I knew if I didn't get good at sales, I wasn't going to be a profitable business owner. So I searched out and I asked, who who's great at sales? And I hired a sales coach as my first hire in my business. And after working with her, and first she said I was so bad at sales. And I was like, I know, help me, help me. After working with her for 2 months, I made my first I had my first 5K day enrolling a $10,000 client. So see, I'm talking about my struggle, where I went searching for a solution, and what was the result of having that solution. So I might set up a story about a client and a testimonial in the same way. So watch this. I might say, oh my gosh, let me tell you about one of my clients. She came to me and she said, I'm so anxious speaking in front of people, but I know that it's part of what I need to do. And I know that if I want to help people with their health, I'm going to have to speak to people. But who am I to speak in front of people? She searched for a solution. She hired me and we worked on how does one grow their confidence? And then 3, what was her transformation? After 4 months of working together, only 4 months, she just presented her first keynote presentation and had a standing ovation. And she came back to me and said, Dr. Erin, at first I thought, who am I to be an expert in this area? And now I realize, who am I not to be? And so see, your stories will always help connect your buyer, your customer to you. They will help grow that trust in you, and they will see that you have the same values that they do. They'll be able to onboard and again, trust you. Okay, so here's the last thing I want to say about being an expert. You do not have to be an expert in every single area of the marketplace. So I might get hired by real estate agents and I don't understand all the vocabulary they use. I don't understand how you go from that person to a broker to escrow to, all the things, right? But they're not hiring me for that. They're hiring me to be an expert in how to increase their productivity, their well-being, their influence, their sales. So they're hiring me, again, as an expert to show them what to pay attention to, what things mean, how things work, how to advance, how things might turn out. They are hiring me to be an expert in my skill set and my knowledge of high performance so that their team can be a high performing team. So I might also then be hired by a large CPA firm. That's happened. Okay, I don't really know anything about that world. That's okay. I'm an expert in the areas that they're hiring me to be an expert in. So again, you do not have to be an expert on the content. You're an expert, or the topic, you're an expert on the transformation you can provide. You're an expert on the process that you can provide. So here's what people pay for. You're going to love this. People pay for 2 things. They pay for a different perspective. That's what your expert status is. That's your skill set. That's what you teach. And they pay for speed. They pay, like, show me the way. I don't want to, hit all the potholes. Let me hire you as my tour guide. It's basically like you're a tour guide. You're showing them the easier, softer way, right? So you're going to transform people's thoughts and habits, their thoughts and habits. So I'm so excited to hear from you of the fact that you've claimed your expert status. I would love to know what it is. And I would love to hear your 1, 2, 3 statement for what do you do? What transformation do you provide? What problem do you solve for people? That's what people are paying you for. And remember, you are always 1 to 2 steps ahead of somebody. So by definition, you have something that they want and need. You're always 1 to 2 steps ahead of somebody. That's just the way it works. Okay, so an expert is not someone who is perfect. An expert is not someone who knows every single thing about every single thing. An expert is someone that can show the way, that can help people transform, that can create speed in that transformation, or can teach a process that their clients, customers want and need. All right, that is it for today. Thank you for joining us in the Academy. I will see you on the next training. Bye, everybody.